Let's just bring that a bit forward. There we go. Right, just wait for a few of you to come on. Got my cuppa ready. Where are we? There we go. Let's turn that volume off. Sorry, you can see my thing at the moment. I've got a sneaking suspicion I will have to lower it down. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly's in the house. So any questions on any of the products I'm using, just ask away in the comments, because Kimberly can help out there. Not seeing any comments coming up. Where are we? It's a beautiful day here. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, Jackie. We've got Kim in the house. They've all gone again, the comments. They come, they go. But never mind, we're okay. But thank you all very much for joining me this afternoon. So I've got my cup of tea. Nothing better than a bit of crafting with a cup of tea and a bit of chat, eh? So I hope you're all enjoying this lovely weather. It's absolutely glorious. And yes, I've got all my window boarded up because the sun is streaming through my craft room window as well. Hello, Sue. And there's probably more over on Pink Frog's inspirations as well. Got a couple of comments come through. Let's have a look. Oh, Jacqueline says there's lovely weather there in Stockport as well. That's brilliant. So I often used to go and demonstrate up Stockport way. So yes, so thank you all for joining in. So today, hello, Christine. Today, I'm going to stop saying hellos because I'll be Mickey saying hellos. More and more people are coming in now. So I know sometimes it gets a little bit delayed because I've got my iPad next to me and it's totally delayed to what is on the camera in front of me. So anything could happen. Kimberly's put the link up to the shop to the items that I'm using this afternoon. So thank you, Kimberly, for that. So as I said, if there's any questions, hello Valerie, if there's any questions at all about any of the products that I'm using, if I'm down and I'm focused on what I'm doing, just write in the comments because Kimberly's on hand with her fingers on the keyboard and she can help answer any questions that you have. Okay, so that helps with that one as well. So yes, we're talking all things shiny this afternoon. So we're talking the lovely Rainbow Mirror and the gold Rainbow Mirror, and I've popped in as well. I'm hoping that's picking it. Oh, it is. That lovely matte black. Now, if you go to shop the feature on the Pink Frog website, you'll see the products on there with all the individual prices as well. But bear in mind, it is Mr. Pink Frog, Mr. Andy Pink Frog's birthday month. So you haven't had an email with a special 10% discount code, because as soon as you add anything to your basket, automatically you get the 10% taken off your purchases. And that is running for the whole of this month because it's Mr. Pink Frog's birthday. So take advantage of that. So that's anything that's on the website at all, you can have on there. We've also got, you would have seen if you go to shop the feature as well, we've got the card and envelope packs. They come in the black and the super smooth. So the card and envelope packs, and they are on a bog off, a buy one get one free, but that does end on Monday midnight. So please do take advantage of that. Hi Sharon. So please take advantage of your bog off deals, because I mean at that rate, getting your cards buy one get one free, that's a great way to stock up, isn't it? Definitely. What else have I got to take? If you spend £30 on the Pink Frog website, there's the free gift of the glitter card. And if you spend £50 on the website, there is also a $9.99 free gift, I think, if I'm right in thinking. Kimberly will correct me if I'm wrong. So I think that is everything. So yes, If any of you have purchased this, or if you're thinking about purchasing it after what I'm going to show you this afternoon, please do, because you've got your 10% off. So Jules says, managed to remember to join today. Well done, Jules. And I see we've got Glynis in the house as well. So we're getting a lot of you on board now, which is fab. So I think without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera around because I'm going to show you what we're going to be making. I'll do it on the overhead, I think. So I'm just going to have a quick sip of my tea. And we'll get that camera up there. I've got a sneaking suspicion I'm going to have to bring it down closer. So who's got a cup of tea in the house? Let's see what you all your choice is. So I'm going to turn this around and pop this up in its holder. And my camera is playing me up at the moment. It did this earlier on absolutely fine. Go to do a live and I'll have to adjust it. Where's the logic in that? Just no logic. So let's see how... I don't want to come too close because I'm going to be having the heat gun on today. And obviously it's going to get quite noisy. So let me just run through a few of the things if people want to craft along with me. Because I know some of you do. This is going to have to come right down, I think. Oh, where are we? There we go. Yes, we're going to have to come right. See, this isn't right. What am I doing wrong? My camera settings were fine. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Anyway, modern technology, it's marvellous when it works. So, because the important thing is you need to see that craft mat. Let's twist that round so that is straight. You want to see down here because this is where it's all going to be happening. So, yes, we've got the rainbow mirror. Oh, now Kimberly's just pointed out the gold rainbow mirror. There's lots of seconds on the buy one, get one free deal. So do check those out. Hello, Caroline. Caroline's in the house. So, yes, I've got that lovely rainbow mirror, which is absolutely fabulous. And then I've also got... or the gold one, I should say, sorry, the gold. And I've also got, I call it silver, but this is the rainbow mirror. But then I've got the lovely matte black. Now, this is fabulous. If I put it against our Pink Frog True Black, can you see the difference? You can see the fact you've got that lovely matte going on, which I think is great. So we're going to be using that. I'm going to be using some Masket as well. So we've got Masket. Some of the stamp sets I'm looking at using are the poppy ones. I've got a magnet attached to it. Why? There we go. And this is the ones with the die set. Okay, because we're going to make some masks. I've got the... wasn't that one I was going to use. It's this one, the Country Meadows, because I thought this is quite a nice silhouette stamp. But really what I'm going to show you this afternoon will work with any stamps that you've got. And I thought of even trying out some of the foliage more. So I've picked out a few stamp sets. You're going to need your Versamark, which is your sticky ink pad. I would recommend not having a brand new one. I have got a new one. This is an old one. As you can tell, it's filthy dirty, but it's going to do the job we want this afternoon. You're going to need some StazOn. So this is black StazOn ink. You're going to need this because this stamps onto your mirror card. Okay. You're going to need some clear embossing powder. Obviously your heat gun. I've got some foam pads as well because I'm going to be using those. And I've got a couple of alcohol pens as well we're going to use. All right. So now I've told you what we're going to be using. Let me share with you what we're going to be making. So let me pop these out on the counter. You may have already seen the the images on social media that I've shared, and also the lovely Kimberly shared them over on Hobby Maker on Adam's Craft O'Clock Live. I'm going to bring this down a little bit closer, I think. So this technique is called, you call it in a way, when let me show you to its raw technique. It's called black ice. I've got all my card cut accordingly ready. So this, and I'm going to share something I haven't shared yet. This is called a black ice technique. So this is where you take a mirror card and you're dragging your black stays on over it. But I thought, let's take it up a notch. Let's use the fabulous rainbow mirror, because this really works well. So here I've done one just with the silhouette of the stamps and the sentiment, but you can see how nicely it plays. So this is on the gold gold rainbow mirror, and this is matted on to that lovely black mat and then matted on to the mirror, the rainbow mirror. I'll get you right. They're going to be shouting at me down Pink Frog HQ. So I just thought the gold with the silver works really well together. And in the light that I can see on the screen there, you're getting that lovely rainbow colour coming through. So what, you know, I've had them stood on the shelf in the kitchen, and when you walk around the kitchen, they just change whatever position you're in. We're going to do another technique here with some masking as well. I'm going to teach you how to do that. And we're also going to do some with some colouring. Okay, so we're going to have a go at the 3 techniques. Now, the techniques I'm going to show you, you can make any size you want. Okay, I've picked myself, I've already cut myself just some little tiles, if you want to call them, of the rainbow mirror. I've just cut myself some little tiles because I thought it looked quite nice with having that extra black round. But with all the you know, the card and envelope packs that we've got to buy one, get one free at the moment, and they come in the super smooth and the black, this technique would work well on any size. So you could really big it up and have it a large size if you wish. So I think without further ado, let's make a start. So I'm going to pop these in front of me, because they look nice. And it does look like there used to be a name for a topper you could buy like this, didn't there? And I can't remember what it was called, but it will come back to me. It will come back to me. So let me get a piece of card. I was going to get a piece of paper, and I haven't got one here with me, so I'll have a piece of my card. So let's start off with let's start off with the silver one. So when we talk about, it's called black ice, it is about taking your mirror card with your stays on ink. Now, the reason you're going to use stays on ink is because stays on ink is the one, I'm trying to read it here in this light and I can't see it. It's the one that's going to stick to your mirror card. If I'd used my VersaFine Claire, the ink would go on it, but as soon as you rub your finger over it, it just comes away. So it just does not work. Okay, so I'm thinking, let's do the first one. So we're going to go on with the silver this time, and I have got myself a little piece of scrap that I'm just using to hold in place so I don't get too covered in ink as we go. I think this needs to be down even closer. Right, I can't go any closer than that. Is that close enough for everybody? We can really see now what I'm doing, because that's what I want you to do. So I'm just waiting for the camera to catch up to see what that looks like. That's okay. So you're going to take your ink pad and you're just going to drag it over the top of your project. Now you can see I've started from the top end, so you get like an edge to it. Okay, so and then I'm going to turn it round. Careful, try not to touch it. That's why I've got this to hold it to. If you do it with your fingers, you're going to get finger marks all the way over it. Now, you can see that I've got the drag from that side and the drag from that side, but I want the drag from the opposite sides now. So what I'm going to have to do this time is drag up, because I want that edge to the project, if that makes sense. So I'm carefully turning this. And these sorts of cards, when you make toppers like this for your cards, this is the sort of thing people are going to say, wow, how did you do that? Or where did you make that? That type of thing. This is how it's going to look. Now, you need a minute just to let that dry, because look, if I put my fingers on it, you've got a little bit. So I'm just going to whiz the heat gun. So apologies. Right, I'm happy with that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to start stamping. So I think to start with, we will do the one that's like a scene, if that makes sense. Let's pop that there and there. So I'm going to I'm taking this off. This is like a double-sided, it's a sticky. So this is sticky, so it helps to hold my things in place. So let's pop that down on there. And I'm going to take out the stamp set that is, let's have Country Meadow. So I'm going to take some of the green, like the leaf, like greenery type thing. And I think we'll have on here, let's put on here Special Friend as well while we're here. Okay, there we go. Pop that on there. So just take your time sort of planning your composition, if you like, of your card. Okay. Now, when you do stick stamps, as you can see with Miri, it does tend to want to take everything up. But that's perfectly normal, so don't worry about it. So I'm going back in again with my StazOn. So I've got a brand new StazOn, and I tidied up my craft room and I can't find it. I've got 2 or 3. And do you think I can find the one I want to find? No, I can't, but there we go. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. So just pop my hand back in there. It's not taken as what my special friend has. I don't know whether you're picking that up, but my other bit hasn't. So a bit more ink going on. And down we go. And you'll find with this, because you are going on to a shiny surface, you just have to do it a couple of times. That's why I popped it into the stamping platform rather than just going on with an acrylic block. Now, I can already see that obviously on the camera, you're just seeing the mirror aspect. I'm going to take my special friend off for a minute. But I will share it up. It's because that card is just absolutely fabulous, and this is a great technique to use when it wants to play ball. It's not sticking in my thing there. So more ink on your stamp. Now I think this stamp set, I'm going to come down a bit. That's moved. I think this stamp set, a card like this, no, I need to go up, not down, Dawn, works really well actually for a men's card, or you could use it for like a sympathy card, something a little bit different as well. So it's because, you see, you're going to have this, it will want to stay stuck, and it's not allowed to stay stuck. In fact, if I put my magnets up there, I wonder if that will help. There we go. So if there's any comments at all, it's just wanting to stay on there. And then I'm going to take another stamp from that stamp set. Let me just pop that one in there. Where's my white? Just a minute. So we're going to have a go at all three of these techniques this afternoon. And we'll just pop that onto there as well. I'm going to put a bit of that onto there. Tell you what, bring that down now that's dry. And we could even have a little butterfly. That's from that same stamp set. Why not? Let's have a little butterfly. So press that down. That's easy because that's a thinner stamp. There we go. Does that come out well enough? Yes, that's come out absolutely fine. Right, so I'm happy with how that looks. I will bring it up to the camera or tilt it differently in a minute because I can see on screen all you're seeing is rainbow and you're probably thinking, what have I made? So let's take that off. Now, I'm going to try and do it that you're not seeing all the rainbow. Okay, I can see all that stamping there. It looks, at the moment it looks quite dark to me. Okay, I can see quite a lot of black, but we haven't finished yet. Okay, I'm trying to hold it in a different light for you to see. I don't know whether it's coming across, but we'll keep plugging on. So the next thing I'm going to need is my Versamark. So just remember with your Stays On ink, if you haven't used Stays On ink before, you get an extra additional cover. Don't throw that away. That is to help keep that ink pad moist. So don't throw that cover away. So we're now going on with some Versamark. Clear embossing powder at the ready. And I've got a card. I've got a card over there I can do that with already. So we'll pop that there. So you're going to take your Versamark and you're going to do the same type of thing you've just done with your Stays On when we did the dragging. You're now going to drag your Versamark. So you're going to take it and you're going to drag it. I know it's hard to see because you don't see where it's going. And it's hard holding it because I can't put my card on top, otherwise it won't be there. So I'm trusting that I've got enough on that. So I've got a piece of card here to put my clear embossing powder on. So if you need any clear embossing powder, Pink Frog have got that as well. They've got the Wow one. Okay, so if you need clear embossing powder, is so useful. Now, can you see I've missed a bit? I can't go back now and add it, but it will be okay. Trust me. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So let me pop that to one side. Oh, there we go. So now with the heat gun. So first thing to do is get your heat gun warmed up first. I'm trying to do it because it's going to be quite noisy, but it'll be fine. So I'm just going to hold that still. Now have your gun close enough, but not too close that you're going to burn it. And you're not going to waft this time, we're chasing. This always amazes me every time I do this. I just think it's absolutely lovely. Let me just move that round a minute. So you're just chasing that embossing powder. Now you're going to get, if I bring that up to the camera, can you see you get like a bumpy type texture to it? Now, I like that. You can keep heating it until you get it smooth, but I think personally it looks better with that slightly bumpy texture to it. So if I bring in the finished one, so you can see what that is going to look like. So this one is in the gold. In fact, let me lay it over here. So that one's in gold. This one's in silver. So what I would do then is I've got my mat of black mat cut. Now to stick this, because we've because it's not dead flat, because we've heated it and it's a treated card. Personally, what I like to use is your double-sided adhesive to stick this down. So I'll put a couple of strips of the double-sided adhesive on here. Okay, just give that a rub. So as I said, this can be any size you want. It can be any stamp you want. You can build up your little scene. So then we'll mat that straight down onto there. Now I've done this one in the silver. So this time I like to actually mat it onto the gold. So if I put them side by side, and I like to 3D it. If you're wanting to post and keep it flat, stick straight down flat. But 3Ding it just gives it a totally different look. So you've got one there that's the gold on the silver, and one with the silver on the gold. So you've got two totally different looks. So that's your first techniques. We'll pop that to one side. And now we'll look at the poppy one. So this time I'm going to go in with, let's go in with a bit of gold. So let's bring my stamping platform in. So let's pop that onto there. I'll put the magnets on with it this time. So I'm going to go in with the poppies. And I've chosen the poppies because it's a nice small dart or small stamp for what I wanted for this little square. I didn't want anything too big. Okay, so I've got my stamp on there. So we haven't actually done any dragging across as yet, just so you're aware. No, we'll keep it, yeah, we'll keep it like that for now. So down we go. Make sure that comes up. That's where my extra magnet came from. It came from there. So back in with your stays on ink again. So lots of little hats. And I would recommend using a stamping platform when you're stamping on the mirror card, as I've said, because sometimes you have to go in and do it several times. So that's why I would highly recommend doing it. See, I want a little bit more of a stronger image. So go in again, because we're going on to a non-porous surface, if you like. So it's not like stamping on your super smooth. You know, we're stamping on something that is shiny. So that should be enough this time. Now, there you go. That's a nice, stronger image. I'm hoping it's coming across. I keep looking at my iPad and thinking it looks too rainbowy. But put my lid back on my stays on. I'm going to leave that poppy stamp there. If I can remember where I put it. I've put it about just after 10. If I remember the next one, I can keep that there. So now what you're going to need next is you need to make yourself a mask. So for this, in fact, let me leave the poppy stamp there. We're going to make a mask. So to make your masks, if you haven't seen this done before, We're using actually the Pink Frog Masket. Okay, it's a brilliant product. Something I go to time and time again. I'm down to my last sheet again. Always happens. So if you take your masket and make yourself a little mask, because you'll know from when we've done the storage, we've allowed that extra piece of acetate or clear film I tend to put in them to store your masks, because you'll use your masks time and again as well. Okay, but I am going to be using one shortly that I'm not going to be using time and again. Right, that's not all totally come out, but that will be okay. I've got my image. I know where I'm going. Now, I'm using the poppy set. So you've got the poppy dies. These dies work in conjunction with the stamps. So now, without the magnet there, I can lay that in place and put some repositionable tape and pop that through my die cutting machine. So then I've created a mask. Now, if you're using a stamp set that hasn't got a die, it's not a problem. You just cut round it with a pair of scissors. So I'm just going to pop this out of the way for the minute while we move things along, because I'm going to show you what one looks like that's done. So I've got two more techniques to show you. So when you passed it through your die cutting machine, this is an old one I've got here, but I'm going to use the old one because I'm going to use it for this technique, but after the next technique I will have to throw it away. So you'll see with your masks, you'll use them time and again until you literally can't use them anymore. So your masket comes with a clear backing. It's the front bit that's matte that you stamp on. And this is like the clear film that we use in our stamp storage to store our stuff. Okay, so that's as easy as they are to use. So let me pop that in there. So with this one, while I've been talking to you about the masket, that is now dry. So just check, so you put your finger across it, that's dry, because we've used the stays on. So now you're going to marry up your mask with your stamp. I'm trying to look at which way is probably best to go. I'll go with this way first. So we'll bring that down. Now your masket is quite forgiving, if I can say that. Can you see how it's repositionable? So don't worry that you've stuck it down and you're never going to move it again, because you will. Okay, so don't be afraid of getting it how you want it. Now, when you do a mask, I've used the die. If you're someone that does stamping and you like a nice white halo around it, just when you cut out your stamp, cut a white halo around it. Not a problem at all. So just lay your masket, then, oh, let's pick that up. I'm not reading any comments, but I will look back at them all after the live and answer any questions. So that's stuck down. I'm going to go even down with my bone fold. This is the Teflon bone fold. You can get these from Pink Frog as well. And I'm just pressing it down, just so I know it's in its place. Don't panic, because you'll be able to get it back up as well. Next thing we're going to do is that black ice technique again. So you're going to take your stays on, and I'm going to find my piece of card that I had. I seem to have a craft room that eats stuff at the moment. Whatever I have seems to disappear, even after tidying it up. So I'm going to lay that onto there. So we're going to do that same dragging technique. I like to go across but you could go down if you wanted as well. But I'm going to go across. So again, we're just doing that dragging down technique. I'm liking how that is looking. Wow. And again on there. Now, how about that? I'm not going to add any more to that. And this is the nice thing about this. Every time you do this, it will look totally different. So lid on my basket. And I'm just going to give that a little minute to dry. This is where you can waft. This is a wafting bit. So I don't want to put too much heat on it. Okay, so that's a wafting technique because you don't want to put too much on it. Now this one we're going to lift back off because we can reuse this mask. Okay, so just peel it off carefully. Just take your time peeling that off. Now that looks fabulous, just like that. I'm going to pop that mask there for a minute. Doesn't that look lovely, just like that alone? See, if I brought in, where are we? We had the silver and the gold. I could put that directly now onto a lovely matte and layer on a card. That would look absolutely amazing. But we're going to take it up another level because we can. So we're going to take it up another level. So I'm going to come in just with some alcohol pens. And I'm not going to be too precious about this. I'll tell you what, with the lights I've got on in here, because I've had to block the light up from the window, I can hardly see what I'm doing on this mirror card. It is so... The quality is just so fabulous, and the colours. Now, when you're colouring this, don't think about adding shading. All you're doing is getting the colour from the alcohol pen onto your mirror. Now, alcohol pens work on mirror because they're alcohol. Anyway, when you put an alcohol pen on anything, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not like a watercolour pen or a watercolour pencil. So this is just about getting some colour down. Now, to start with, you do have to sort of build up the layers to get the colour on. Okay, so just take your time. I'm just doing little circular motions just to get as much of that lovely red colour as I can. Now, you can use any of your alcohol pens, will work on this. Doesn't have to be a particular brand at all. Okay, just go with any colour or any brand you've got in your craft stash. When it starts to dry, you'll see it's dry. You can go back and I would add another layer just to darken it up. Okay, so just going with another layer there. This is where I always feel everything goes quiet in the room when you start colouring. But making little toppers like this for cards. Can you imagine this at Christmas, making card toppers like this for Christmas? Now, there's an idea. Why it's 10% off anything, you could stock up and start making Christmas card toppers. That's a really good idea, Dawn. Didn't think of that one. You could get ahead of the game. You could be sat in the garden, doing a bit of colouring on your mirror card, and then come up to your craft space and do the rest of it in the craft room. So I'm going to go on now with a little bit of the green, just to bring that in. At this stage, I can't really see that I'm colouring because I can't see the colour over the mirror, but I've got lots of bright lights on. When you're doing this, you're going to be doing it hopefully in natural daylight, so you'll be fine. So I'm just going to add that bit to there. Okay, that could do with having a little bit of a dry. So I'll tell you what. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that's dry. I'm happy. I'm happy. So now we're going to go back in with our Versamark. And we're going to do the same thing again. So this time I'm going to try and get all of it covered. The trouble is, because it's clear, you can't exactly see where you've been. And I'm trying very hard not to put my finger marks on it as well. So I'm just dragging it across. So, in fact, let's do this technique. Let's try this technique. I wonder if that'll give a different look. Oh, that might give it a different look. So there we go. So that's your Versamark. Clear embossing powder again. So let's just sprinkle that on. Oh, look at that. This is where you've got to be really careful not to get your fingernails all over it. Let's just tip that embossing powder in there out of the way. There we go. I'm going to bring my pokey tool in to just hold it. I'm going to go there, get my heat gun going. I'm going to start chasing. Look at that. Doesn't that look fabulous? Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. I'm loving it. It's amazing what you can create when you're having fun. So just get that all covered. If you don't want as bobbly a look, go over it a bit more and that will smooth it out. It sort of gives like a stained glass window type effect to it. Oh, I've missed a bit. There we go. That's got that off. Just make sure my heat gun's in a safe place. So now you've got that lovely topper going on there. So let's bring in the one I did earlier. So the one I did earlier was on the silver. This one is on the gold. So again, mat it onto that lovely black mat. This time put the silver back in. So you're going silver gold. I think it makes it stand out more. And you've got two versions. One with the silver, one with the gold. What I'll do at the end of the live, I'll take photographs of the two comparisons so you can see, because I can see in my iPad it's hard for you to see it without too much rainbow bouncing back at you, but I think you will agree it's a fabulous technique. So that's bringing in your alcohol pens this time and your masket. So that's another technique. So that's technique 2. So now let me share with you the last technique. I've just got time to get that one in and I want to share that one with you. So let's do the last one. So the last one we're going to do this time onto silver. So we come back in again with my poppy stamp. Let's hope I've popped this in the right spot. Is that in the right spot? It needs to come over just a little bit, not a lot. Right, happy with that. So, on with your stays on, take that off. And bear in mind, you may have to do 2 of these, as you saw from last time. So just press it down, because you're going in onto a non-porous surface. Okay. And we'll just lift that up. Look at, that's really clear, that image. I want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to go in again, but that is so lovely and clear. It's just like a mirror. Literally, it is what it says on the tin. It's mirror card. So let me just pop that lid on there. Now, also with your stays on, if you haven't used it before as well, it does dry very quickly, okay, as you've seen. So just bear that in mind if you take time normally with your stamping. Okay, so that should have given me a nice, oh, I've got a mirror, I've doubled it up. That'll be fine. Shall I do it again? Have I got another card here? Cut. She says, throw my things in the bin. Let me cut myself another little bit of mirror card. I want to do that again. I'm not happy. So let me take a piece of the silver. I'm just going to cut a piece off here. Can't remember the size, but that'll be roughly about right. Let's do this again, because that moved. I'm not happy about that. I'm going to do it again. That's another technique you can do, actually, but we're not doing that today. Can you see how it sort of ghosted? I got 2 images. Didn't want that today. Typical. When I don't want it, I've got it. I want to do another one to get a darker image. Oh, no, get back in. If this one's done it, I'm going to be really cross. But hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, folks. No, it's done it again. We'll just go with it. It's done it again. Because I'm live and I'm rushing to try and get this last one done. It'll be fine. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the first one as it's dry. Now I'm going to take my same mask. Okay, because I said with mask you can use it again and again and again. So I'm going to take the same mask. Because unfortunately, when you do the mask now for this one, you will have to throw it away after this technique. And that is why I didn't want to make a new one that I would only use once and have to put in the bin. So that's why I thought I'll use this one up and then I can make myself some new ones. So do like you've just done. There's my bone folder. We'll just press that all down. And then we're going to bring in my piece of cards. Bring in your stays on again. Okay, drag that across. And I'm dragging up the other way to try and get that texture that I want. And I'm going to do it up the other way there as well. I'm going to do a little bit more on the top there. Lovely. That's how I want it. And then I will just give that a quick whiz dry before I do the next stage. So you'll notice that when I'm doing this to just get the stays on dry, I'm doing wafting. When we do the other bit, you're doing it chasing. So just check it's dry, because now I'm going to go on with my Versamark. Dirty Versamark. Don't go in with a brand new Versamark, please, please. So, and then you're going to sort of drag it across, or you can go down and sponge it like that as well, is another thing you can do. And I've just put my fingerprint on it. This time I can actually hold on top of the mask, which helps. I think I've got that all covered now. So you can either choose to dab or stroke, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay. Piece of card. Clear embossing powder. So you're going straight over your mask this time, remember. This is why after this one you won't be able to use this mask. So use an old mask for this technique. Okay. So dab that off. I just put my lid on there. Get the heat gun going. I can this time hold on to that part. And we're going to start tracing. You're never going to tire of watching heat embossing change. All the years I've been crafting, never tire of it at all. Just going to turn that round. Whoop. So this is obviously on the rainbow mirroring. You can smooth off those areas if you want. I'm quite happy with how that is looking. So just give that a little minute just to, because that still feels quite warm. Yeah, that's fine. You'll feel it's warm, but you should be able to touch it. If it's too hot, just going very carefully, but please don't burn yourself. I'm going to take my pokey tool because now I want to lift this mask. And this is where I said after this one, you're not going to be able to use this mask, and you won't. This is where, unfortunately, it'll have to go in the bin. But you'll mask it. You've got plenty of sheets on there. But it is just a lovely technique to do. Let's get that piece off there. So I'm just going very carefully because the masket still hasn't stuck to the mirror card, but you've got a totally different look. So let me bring in the one I made earlier. So you've got the silver against the gold. So this time we'll put gold as the background with the black matte, because I think that just finishes that off. And I would 3D that. So you've got two versions, your gold with your silver matte and your silver with your gold matte. And how different do they look? I will photograph them after and try and get it without too much of the mirror or the rainbow colour coming through. Okay, so that's your other technique. So you've got three fabulous techniques that I've shared with you this afternoon. So we'll bring those out. We've got the masking, where you can actually see the rainbow card flat underneath, and you've got that texture of the heat embossing around the edge. We've got the coloured poppy that we did as well, with that lovely black iced dragged texture going on. And then we've also got the scene look, where we stamped a scene on and a sentiment, and you've got that for your topper. And you could use any of your stamps on this. The pink frog stamps would work perfectly. So there's three techniques there for you. So I'm just going to whiz the camera back round and just, there we go. Oh, everything's going to fall. Everything's falling apart today. I don't know what's going on. That's going to stay. So I do hope, let's move that out of the way. I do hope you have enjoyed that this afternoon. 3 fabulous techniques for you to try out with your rainbow mirror, whether you choose to go silver or gold, or have a go with both, because both look fabulous. I will photograph these so you can see the difference with the silver and gold. And also don't forget to check out that lovely matte black, because I think that really makes that stand out against the black, the true black, and the black card that Pink Frog give you. So don't forget you've got those buy one get one free offers on your card and envelope packs, and that ends Monday midnight, so don't miss out on that at all. You've got 10% off anything at all on the website, and it automatically comes off at checkout, so don't forget to check that out as well. If you order £30 worth, you're going to get your free gift of the glitter card. I think, am I right in correct in thinking? Kimberly will correct me. And if you spend £50, you get an extra free gift, which is going to be a gift worth £9.99. If you haven't already subscribed to the Pink Frog YouTube channel, please do, because Kimberly will get today's live uploaded, and tomorrow morning this will be available to watch on their YouTube channel, so you can watch it back, you can craft along with me. And if you go to the Pink Frog website under Facebook Lives with Dawn and Claire, you can also go to the day, which is today, and you'll have the video there with all the products that I've actually used to make these cards as well. Claire will be with you next Wednesday, and she will be with you at 1 o'clock. And then I will be with you the following Wednesday at 4 o'clock. I'd like to thank you all very much for tuning in this afternoon and enjoying me and coming out from your gardens and the beautiful sunshine to come and join me. If you want to have a go at this and watch it back again, please do, because you've got some fabulous techniques there to use with your rainbow mirror card. Have fun, have a go, and just get creative. And I will see you very soon. So thank you for watching, and bye for now.